Have you taken your child to go see Minecraft yet?
I did not take my children to see. I did not take my children to see Minecraft, but my wife did.
Oh, she did.
Yes, she did. I think it was with another parent from their school and some kids that they know and hang out with and go to school with. Which is funny because Nicholas never really showed an interest in Minecraft. We have Minecraft at home, literally on this computer that we're recording this on.
I'm glad your kids had a safe, quality time in the movie theater with your wife and her friend or whomever. But there's a thing going on now that's becoming a weird debacle, and it's not just in the U.S. I've seen articles in... I've seen articles in the UK about the same topic, where people are freaking out for this meme of this phrase chicken jockey and throwing tons of popcorn.
Really?
Getting the police called. And there's been multiple movie theaters who have put out warnings saying, we're going to call, if you do this, we're calling the police. You'll get arrested. There are people here trying to enjoy the film, blah, 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 blah.
Don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk. And
please, no Pokemon Go here.
No Pokemon Go. And then today, a couple of days ago, this is April 9th, this article in Entertainment Weekly came out.
Okay.
Minecraft director reacts to movie success and that insane chicken jockey trend. It's just a bonanza. So this film director comes out and says, it's weird when you're having too much fun and the cops get called. It's funny because I think it's just literally cheering and throwing popcorn, which is so funny to me that cops are being called for popcorn. Yeah, it's hilarious. I've seen so many funny videos. It's great, especially when people are climbing on their friends' shoulders, standing up and cheering for those moments. I'm glad people are making memories with their friends and families. If there were a bunch of fucking teenagers screaming...
Which already are annoying.
Screaming, and like, if your kids were in this theater, and I'll show a video in a second, they'd be terrified. They'd
be very confused, yeah.
So
because there's the definite break between what teenagers' knowledge of like Minecraft as opposed to like a 6 or 7 year old's knowledge.
Well, teenagers grew up with it. Teenagers,
right.
Early 20-year-olds, they grew up in it, you know. So here's the innocent fun. This is one example that this director is defending, basically.
So many broccoli haircuts.
Well, that's what I was going. I mean,
absolute disgusting.
Visible disgust.
Visible. Vidal Sassoon is rolling in his grave.
There's two of them. There's at least, and then there's another one. Everyone's seen it. Let me find the most offensive video.
Okay.
No, you were going to say something.
Well, I'm not certain, and I think that you've played Minecraft way more than I have. I'm wondering if Chicken Jockey is something that you can do in the game, like you can somehow ride a chicken or something like that, because that must be what they're reacting to. Because otherwise, I'm really confused as to why they would just be freaking out about that, unless it's some like in movie meme joke of some sort.
I don't know that.
Okay.
I'm not aware of being able to ride the chicken. But
oh my God, somebody brought a chicken into the theater.
Well, watch
That's
this
like
one.
Kramer with a cup of coffee. Oh my God.
Oh, they didn't show the...
See, this is also kind of why I'm like, I really don't want to go to movie theaters. And Hollywood kind of wonders, like, why do people not want to go to theaters anymore? Which, this
Look
just
at
seems
this.
like you're having...
Look at this. Look at this shit.
This looks like you're having a birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese and you're 17.
Like, these people. Seriously. These people, and this director. This is the enabling this behavior as movie theater chains are like complaining about not getting, like you're talking about, that people don't want to go to movie theaters anymore. Mm-hmm. This guy's an asshole.
Yeah, that wasn't a smart thing to do. I think he's probably hoping to bank that based upon the success of this, and also him just being like, oh, everybody's having a fun time. I think he's hoping that he might get a call from somebody to direct yet another film.
Yeah.
That's my only thing.
But the thing is that it's making money. He doesn't need to.
Yeah.
I think he wants it to turn into some kind of stupid midnight movie, like Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
And
somebody was saying that
Room.
this is already like that, where it's a very similar. The Room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Rocky Horror, The Room.
The difference is that people are throwing spoons during The Room, which are not destructive. Throwing popcorn all over the plate, greasy popcorn all over the movie theater, or
a chicken,
or bringing a chicken. I mean, that's the extreme example, but it's like, no, I'm not. I do not condone. And
it definitely turns off a lot of people to go and take anybody to, like, if you're taking small kids. I mean, I like I said, I feel like smaller kids like mine are more fascinated by this because it's colorful pictures on the screen and stuff like that. But all the like you're saying, teenagers that have been growing up with this already now for the past 15, 20 years. I don't know how old Minecraft is, but it's probably old. They have a completely different relationship with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think most of these kids were also probably played it on console rather than on PC. Mm-hmm. So this is just I
just find it's like cheering at the midnight screening with your friends, or even like for the first week being rowdy. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. It's like the audiences that were cheering when Yoda started flying around with his lightsaber during Attack of the Clones, or during, you know what I mean? Like, audiences were excited and pumped during the prequels, and somehow it was not complete chaos and assholery towards the other audience members. And now, mysteriously, in 2025, this isn't enjoyment of the film. This is making the film about them.
Yeah,
that's the difference. This is for bullshit social media clout and all of this. Everyone had their fucking phones out in that
phones
video.
Out. There were more. I felt like there's like
idiots.
There's more experience. Like there's more people in those scenes, in those footage, that are actually recording this shit instead of actually performing and stuff.
Exactly. Everyone just wants to have something for their Instagram feed.
Yeah, and what was the thing? Yeah, it just seems like like if you're going to see a movie, you just go and see a movie. It's not every single movie has to be this like performance theater kid type of piece thing, and it just, I get really annoyed by stuff like that because, like I said, this is something that really makes people get turned off by going to the movie theater to see any movies, which, the majority of movies now that make money are films such as this that are, they capture a piece of the cultural zeitgeist at the time in pop culture. But I don't think anybody would be doing something like this at, one of the type of movies that you probably go to see at like Music Box. Like I would love somebody to do like, what was it? Like if something like this happened when you went to go and see Phantom Thread or something.
Oh God.
They're like, oh, he's got this pattern.
He's got this
and stuff
pattern.
like that.
I like how you're extrapolating.
He's pulling out the Swatch book.
Alex is extrapolating what that movie's about from the trailer.
Yeah.
Of course it's your house.
Or did somebody drop me on foreign soil behind enemy lines? I'm surrounded on all sides.
It's you who brought me here.
When the hell did this happen? Who are you? Do you have a gun? You here to kill me? Do you have a gun?
Stop it!
Where's your gun?
The Swatch.
I mean, I don't know, but you know what I mean.
I understand,
It would be something similar to that, like that movie theater would be interesting because it'd be the people that are doing that stuff, and also the people are getting pissed off at that. So, with you leading the charge of the people pissed off at the people,
it's just not. It's disrespectful to the movie theater. It's disrespectful to the film, and it's disrespectful to the handful of poor idiots who accidentally went to that screening.
Unknowingly,
unknowingly
got stuck in it.
Realistically, if I had wanted to see the Minecraft film and I would have checked out of that audience in the first 20 minutes. I don't know if I would have lasted 15 minutes. I walked out of the first Blade Runner 2049 screening I went to because I was like, this audience is not going to work for me. I even went to the I've told the story before. I went to the box office and I was like, "Hey, I this isn't going to work. Can I get a credit for like tomorrow's screening? I don't want a refund. I'm not trying to make a big deal. I just don't.
Yeah, just a voucher.
I just want a voucher for tomorrow night. It was the first 15 minutes, and then the manager was really chill and he was like, "I'm so sorry. Here's a voucher for tomorrow, and here's a free pass for another future date." And I was like, so that's what, being reasonable can get you a little bit of a perk now and then.
Yeah, I kind of wonder, like, since you mentioned that, I wonder if it's kind of like the movie-going experience has also just become very dumbed down to the lowest common denominator because for the past, since the 2000s, it's just been that just mindless slop is what's on the screens all the time.
And also post 2020, post COVID, audiences killed, like everything got worse after COVID, including audiences. You were talking about Music Box Theater, my favorite theater in the world. Overall, 4 out of 4 pots of gold, right? I have now had bad experiences there. Yeah, post-COVID, I have had bad experiences there. I went to see Boogie Nights, which is a drama. It is not a comedy. It is a drama.
Yeah, there's some black comedy elements in the film.
Yeah, sure. There's humor, 100%. That's deliberately there to laugh at.
Yeah.
You don't cheer. The entire audience shouldn't be cheering just because William H. Macy comes on screen and does nothing. It's his first shot.
He just appears.
He just appears and people applaud. That's not people being happy about the film. It's the meta of William H. Macy.
Yeah, I hate that shit. Yeah.
And that's disrespectful to the film, disrespectful to the theater, blah, 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 blah. I hate that shit. And it's funny because people have now, I've been on 2 Twitter threads where people were bitching at the Music Box. And I always chime in. I donated the fucking chair to their theater revamp, which was not cheap. And so maybe
Did you get your name on it?
I did. I have not. Haven't gotten it engraved yet. June, I get my name engraved on it.
Oh,
so I'm very proud of this. But when
the place gets sold, I want you to go there and get that
tear
chair.
out my chair. This is my chair. It'll be in my living room next time, and you can come.
Nice.
But I do it makes me feel a little bit entitled to complain and be like, yeah, I'm also one of the people complaining about your audiences now, and they're like, we're sorry, you should let us know next time.
Why would they be cheering about William H. Macy like meta-wise?
Because people like William H. Macy, and because he was an actor in Shameless, the Chicago-based series.
Yeah, he plays the dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, did they cheer for Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Not the same way they chilled for
Assholes.
William H. Macy. They cheered and were wooing at the end of the film because he pulls out his dick, and I'm like, it's not a funny scene. The joke, it's not a joke. It's not.
How old were these people? Were they in their 20s?
They were my age. The people who go to the Music Box are 40-year-old film weirdos, mostly. It's funny, though.
But they're being just weirdos now.
I guess we're just talking about how theaters are fucked up now. But
well, yeah, this is an example of that, yeah.
But, like, I was talking to another film industry guy, when I was working in San Francisco, and he was another Chicago guy, and we were talking about the Music Box Theater, and he was saying he noticed the same things I had, and he was like, at some point around 2018 to 2021, Film Bro became a thing. And it became like this new identity on Twitter where people who, let's say, didn't grow up or grow into, this sounds so elitist asshole of me, but they just kind of, it got popular, and so they wanted in on it. And so now there are people they weren't sitting at home like film nerds watching Boogie Nights on VHS and being like, oh, Paul Thomas Anderson, oh, look at the way he uses tracking shots. That's really interesting. They were guys who were brought at home. They were like, like, I heard this movie's pretty funny. It's about porn actors, and that Twitter likes it, and they put it in, and they just are all like, oh, it's porn actors. It's that kind of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just, everything,
they've come in and ruined this. Meanwhile, me in the realm of Magic the Gathering, going first time.
I was gonna say it's the image.
All these bunch of just visitors.
What's the name? What's the name that that image that you sent me? Lifetime of a fandom, Lifeline.
Yeah, something like that. It's like life cycle of a hobby. I think it's called
a hobby.
It's like stick figures that basically do it.
It reminded me of that one. That guy who used to do, oh, here it is. Gaming Circle Jerk. Degradation of a fan base hobby. This is such, oh, why is it tiny? Make it bigger. That's what she said.
Since we're talking about Boogie Nights.
That's the other thing. Girls watching Boogie Nights getting ideas.
Yeah. But yeah, you could just,
oh God, yeah. Well,
yeah,
I'll find a bigger version of this for the real show, but it's like it is. This is what it turns into, where people, the original people, are having a good time. They involve more people, but then the other person brings somebody else who's only like tangentially interested, and then they bring their girlfriend, and then their girlfriend brings her. Yeah. Her ex-boyfriend.
Her ex-boyfriend that she still has his phone number.
Right. And so the original...
Brendan's over there at the very end with the stinky face and the squiggle above him.
Yes.
Going like, I hate this theater.
That's me at Anime Central. That's me at Music Box Theater. That's me masturbating. Can I speak to the manager?
I want to take my placard chair home, please.
Can I have this removed?
Yeah,
I know it says donation.
I want no further part of this.
It says donation, but technically I never claimed it on my taxes, so I think it's still mine.
You can have my donation money. I just want my chair now.
Speaking
of, just the plaque itself.
I donated $20 to them today because I had bought tickets to 2 films that I was like, I'm not going to this today. Although maybe I can still make the midnight one actually.
Yeah.
It's the Hidden with Kyle MacLachlan is screening at midnight tonight.
Can you make it in time?
If I leave at 11, I'm not going. I'd rather have another Yingling.
Oh, look, you got some Yinglings.
Well, everyone's talking about it.
It is. I just really hope that it's like, I'm very glad it's finally here and available in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. I just don't want it to get too popular and too oversaturated, where they're going to start throwing Yingling at the movie screen.
That's the original. That's the East Coast Yingling fans.
That's East Coast
and
Yinglings.
You. And then this is me. I come in, and then I'm telling people in Chicago about it. And
now they're going to bring the girlfriends.
Yeah. So anyway, the point is don't be a dick at movie theaters. You can be a dick during like pre-designed containment screenings.
Mm-hmm. Rocky Horror, The Room.
Right. And even if there are things where it's sort of like sing-alongs, like Music Box does sing-along days that are like, come see, well, it's like for Christmas. Or they'll do
Is it Dr. Teeth's?
White Christmas is what they do sing-alongs for Christmas.
Well, isn't there like some sort of like Neil Patrick Harris horror movie? Something like that,
Isn't that is that a Joss Whedon film? Maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would give Minecraft audiences 0 out of 4 pots of gold for being dicks.
I concur. I think it wasn't like an audience thing, but I think there was one particular person in the audience that was kind of like, dude, you need to read the room type of scenario. I think it was when they released the special editions into theaters, and it might have been either New Hope or Empire, and the theater was just packed, and like it was a dad with his 2 kids, and he was trying to get to sit all 3 of them together, but because this was back in the 90s, and it's like nobody gives a shit.
And no reserved seating.
There's no reserve. Yeah, it's first come, first serve. And he's like trying to be like, he was like trying to like, he like stood up, and he was in the front of the theater too. This is already when we had like the front section was regular old school seating, and then you had the stadium seating afterwards. And I think this might have been at Yorktown, I believe.
Okay.
Or Donata Square. Maybe Yorktown. And he was trying to ask, he was like, could anybody like offer up their seats for me to sit with my kids and stuff? And nobody's like paying attention to him, and they're all just gibbering and jabbering. He's like, can we all just work together? And I think there was like a random like, F you, sit down, that was thrown his way. And it's just like, dude, you're bringing this to yourself. It's just like, just shut up. And I think he finally, the 2 of them sat together, and it's like he sat someplace like a row behind or something. I was just like,
I'm sympathetic,
bro.
I'm sympathetic in certain way to that predicament, but I would never expect other people to sacrifice their seats, especially since in those situations, usually the best seats were the people who've been standing there in line for an hour. And I know this because, and this will make me sound like a dick, I stood in line for 2001 once for an hour at the same theater. First in line, got my spot that is like my favorite spot to sit in. And I was overjoyed. And somebody came over and was like, can you move over a seat so that there's 2? And I was like, no, I got here an hour early to get this seat, and I'm not changing for you because movies, I'm there, the doors open like a half hour before the film. This is like 5 minutes before the movie.
Yeah.
If you don't care, if you don't want to take responsibility for your own fucking seat, then why should I be inconvenienced for it?
Yeah, especially when it's a special viewing of a film that's existed for decades.
Right.
And it's probably going to be busy, and it's like, if you're not going to make it on time, just watch it the next time out. Besides 2001, they show it all the time.
Well, and if you want to have a special time with your 2 kids for Star Wars, then either get there early, or when you realize that you're not going to be able to sit together, go out and get a refund and say, can I have, we're not going to be able to sit down. Like you and I and Erica, when we went to see
Dunkirk.
And that was mostly
we stood out in line out there on the street.
We stood in line in the
front
street,
of the theater too. Yeah.
Well, we did that for the second screening because we were late for the first one.
Okay.
And there wasn't good seats left, and I was just like, this isn't worth. But anyhow,
yeah. But like I said, that scenario with Star Wars, it was they showed up like maybe like it was like 2 minutes before the lights went dim, dark and stuff. It's like, dude, the whole theater is packed to the gills. Nobody's listening to you.
I'm glad that he didn't get his way.
No,
I hate it when people want you, if you're sitting on the aisle seat, they want you to move down so that their party of 4 can sit there, and it's like, I'm not. Why should I have to move? Like, so they want like 2 people to move so that everyone's moving together. And like the managers would come into the theaters and say, please move towards the center of each aisle. And it was like, I want to sit on the aisle because I don't want to have to walk over people to pee. So no, I'm not going to move down. I got here early. Why should I give up my seat, period?
And that's interesting because, normie conception of sitting in the middle of the theater be like, oh, this is the best viewing option. It's like, yes, but for people who are smart and have to use the bathroom or just leave quicker when the film is done. We want to be on the end because reasons and get here on time.
Exactly. First come, first served, as you said before.
Yeah.
So.
Or I hate the way. The other thing I also hate is when you're sitting in an aisle and you're all by yourself, and this group or a bunch of people just show up and they want to take in your aisle, and you're like, "There's so many other open seats. Like, why did you pick this particular aisle?
Alex,
this is the third one back.
You picked the best aisle. That's why.
It turns a movie theater experience a parking lot.